Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Allianz Joy. I'm so glad to be here today. And I hope that you are watching this episode of Allianz Joy. We're going to talk about things that we can do for ourselves in the dark, cold winter days. And I'm going to give you some tips to kind of feel better and bring back some joy and set a theme for the winter. So I don't like those months, right? After all the holidays are over, all the holiday days are over, and we're done celebrating with all the lights and the Christmas decoration or the Hanukkah Kwanzaa decoration that you have in your home. Once you start putting that away, it might still be really, really cold. And now I am very spoiled because I live in Texas. So we have plenty of sunlight around, even in the really cold, dark month. But if you are living up north, or like I used to live in Amsterdam in Europe, it was really long, dark, winter, gray winter days, right? And you just can get a little bit affected by that. So I definitely want to talk about that today. My name is Elian Haan, host of Allianz Joy. This is season 4. I'm very happy to be here. Maybe you're watching on Amazon, Roku, Apple. Glad to be here. There's always a replay on my YouTube channel. I'm an executive coach. I help people go from stuck to unstoppable. And do that with me. There are several program offers on my website, alienhaan.net. Let's start today with a little bit of an introduction about what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the perfect time for reflection, the perfect time for growth, and the perfect time for renewal, the dark winter month. So while these cold and dark days, they are a little bit challenging, right? They also provide an opportunity to slow down and to nurture yourself, lay the groundwork for a vibrant year ahead. So you can do some thinking in those dark days, right? The guide outlines today practical steps and a little framework, right, for encouraging mental and physical renewal during this upcoming season. So what I want to do is just have a little bit of a holistic approach, or I discuss with you a little bit of a holistic approach that integrates warmth and light and movement and mindset shifts. So if you're already in this like, oh, I can't do it, it's dark winter, then maybe someday, or maybe sometimes today, I can help you with some tips during this episode or when you're listening to get out of that funky mode. And that is sometimes a little bit normal. I mean, we all get that, but there's a lot of things that you can implement. There's a lot of things that you can actually write down. One of my goal setting and planning workshops, things that you can write down to stick by. And if you stick by them, you make it a habit, right? It becomes a little bit easier. And so one of the first ones that I want to discuss with you is prioritizing light exposure. So like I said, easy for me to say. Elian is now in Texas, so there's lots of sunlight, even on the cold, cold days. And there are days there is no sunlight, but you want to maximize natural light. So that means that you're going to spend some time outside during the day, even if it's cold, bundle up, just put that big old parka on, and brisk walk is good, right? Or just sitting by a window with sunlight if you can go outside. Just sit by a window with plenty of light for your mood. Sometimes you can also use light therapy, and investing in that is a good idea if you live in a darker part of the country, or if you live in a darker, early dark part of the world. It's well known that we need that light therapy in some countries in Europe, in some countries up north, in some parts of the United States, where it really gets dark early, and you might want to invest in one of these light therapy lamps. Yeah, just kind of simulate sunlight and then to combat that seasonal affective disorder that we're talking about. That might help a lot, right? And then if you want to for yourself, sometimes you might have the ability to really create a warm, light indoor for yourself in a cozy in a cozy, inviting space. Right? So maybe some more lights, maybe some more lamps, and just maybe some light colors on the wall, or maybe you want to repaint that small room where you like to have your me time. It helps a lot to just kind of stay in there and sit in a lighter and brighter environment. Sometimes it's colors. I really get always energized by colors. I feel happy having the warm light from the sun color around me, or orange and reds and yellows, etc. So maybe that is something that you can do. And then number two, very important. Of course, I'm going to touch on this. Oh, very important to stay physically active. Bring in some movement in your day. And that is nowadays, even if you can't get out and you don't want to go to the gym, it might be really cold and dark still in the morning or early at night when you come off, when you get out of work and you're home and you don't want to go out again. Oh, I remember that feeling so well. And if you're doing that, if that's the case, then why not grab a home workout on YouTube? I have a lot of home yoga videos on YouTube. There's a lot out there. There's smaller exercises, there's strength exercises, there is flexibility, mobility, there's weights, anything and everything from 5 minutes to half an hour to an hour is nowadays on YouTube, right? So we can find something that really will help us exercise at home. So if you get into the habits of doing this after work or doing this just before dinner, or early in the morning, then you are creating there again just a steadfast habit for yourself. And it doesn't have to be every day. You can do that 2, 3 times a day or a week, while the other days you're going out in that park out for a brisk walk and you're getting some fresh air. So that might help, right? You want to bundle up, you want to move outdoors, and just walking, or even if you're up north, snow skiing, of course, sledding in the snow, of course. All these things are so healthy, right? That really cold feeling in your nose. Wonderful. And then also, don't forget at night, just to get tension out of your body, even tension that is created because of the cold, right? We might have a lot more tension in our body. Just don't forget to release that before you go to bed. So you might do a little meditation time or a little light stretching. Just get off the couch and get on the floor, I always say. Just do a little bit of stretching forwards, kind of touch your toes instead of just sitting still and tensing up those muscles. So it's really good for you to stretch here and there, stay physically active. Number two. And then we're going to nourishment, number three. Of course, right? We have to have that hot soup. We have to have that hot stew. I am the queen, not definitely not the queen in the kitchen, but the queen of making 2 or 3 day meals in a big pot where I throw all the vegetables and some meat together and some potatoes and some pasta and just throw it all in there and just make that nice warm soup that you can nibble on for a couple of days. That is really what comes with the cold days. And it's also nourishing. You need that nourishment. Who doesn't like a cup of hot tea or hot cocoa during the cold winter days, right? So you definitely want to go there for yourself to make a little bit of yummy food and just really enjoy that in the winter days. So seasonal comfort food, we talk about it. We have soups, vegetable soups, warm and fuels, plenty of water. That's one for me because I want to forget about that. It's not that I don't like to drink water. I just kind of forget and tend to forget on the colder days. And I am dehydrated, same way. I need to drink it, but I'm thinking tea, I'm thinking coffee, I'm thinking tea. Drink plenty of water anyway. So bring a bottle or two with you during the day, and don't forget to bring those bottles empty back when you come back home. So that's a good idea, right? To just kind of make a count of what you want to establish there. Maybe you've got one of these big jugs that's, tell you to keep going, keep going, keep going, and you can put your water in there. It's really important to hydrate. And then, of course, don't forget your supplements and your extra vitamins during the winter time. We need antioxidants, we need fruits, and we need those leafy greens, and we need nuts sometimes, right? That kind of thing to nibble on. So you can keep it healthy, but it's still what we call comfort food. Absolutely. And it's now wonderful. I feel like having a good cup of hot cocoa, right? Hot chocolate. Wonderful. So number 4 is practicing mindful reflection. And what we can do in the days that we have more time, that we're staying home, that we're not outside running around, is to start a journal, a gratitude journal sometimes, or just writing your thoughts down, write your emotions down, reflect on the year that passed, and write down the highlights of the year. Just kind of get into that thing of what you want to write about. It feels really good. Bring a nice little journal, buy a nice little journal for yourself, and start that in the winter. So that way, we can foster a little bit of self awareness and positivity. Definitely, we all know that the gratitude journal works. If you write down what you're grateful for, we can use also meditation or a visualization to kind of come to that mindful state of self and to just kind of do that reflection of the year, right? I am comparing. If I need that reflection, I'm thinking sometimes about things that are happening around us, and I go like, I'm well off. Everything is good. Everything is okay. And just like anybody else, of course, I have worries and I have sorrow and I have pain at times, and we have loss and grief in our life. But just to come to that gratitude journal and reflecting on the big picture, looking at the big picture, reflecting on your life, maybe that helps. It's a really important thing to do. And then sometimes, like I said, you can get a meditation done. So you can 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just one of these apps. It puts you into a wonderful spirit, puts you in a wonderful mindset, and it's really relaxing and calming. So it's important, number 4, to take some time for reflection. You want to do that through meditation or through journaling, or just through a gratitude journal or visualization, right? It's really important to go to that place of, um, I talked about that last week. What did you do this year that you want to reflect on? What worked? What didn't work? And what would you like next year to look like? So that would be a good visualization exercise. How do I see myself at the end of 2025? So I'm looking at this year. I'm looking at the wins always, right? For us coaches, it's really important to look at the bright side first and to see where we succeeded and what were just great accomplishments. And then I can pat myself on the back and say, good, I'm going to keep doing that because it worked. And I'm kind of scratching some things that didn't work out so well. So that is really, really important. Another thing in the winter days is that we are at times craving connection, and we're craving friends or people around us. We're craving maybe family around us. During the holidays, that is imminent, and you can definitely see that we are, seeing people being lonely. Hopefully you invited them to your table, or maybe you did spend some time with people that have less people coming over that are maybe older. In our families, we have people that are not reaching out because they think that they're a burden to you, but they really need you to listen and be there for them, right? I know a lot of people in my family because that's what we were brought up. We don't ask for help because, oh my, maybe we're a burden to somebody else. And I've learned the hard way that that is not very healthy. So we do need to cultivate some really nice and cozy connections. And you can do that to go to a club, become a member of a civic club maybe, and go to find some new friends in a hobby club or maybe in church, and do your acts of kindness. Volunteering somewhere is always really, really rewarding, right? There's small acts of kindness where it's really meaningful to others. And if you don't have the option to go out, then do something like a virtual meetup. Go to a mastermind or a virtual group, or just a coffee club, just a social group online. If you don't really know where to find them, then reach out and people can help you with that, or find them online by Googling groups. And if you don't find that, then you start one. If you don't find anything to your liking, then you call some friends. Maybe they're far away. You call some family, but they're far away. So you can't have that immediate, warm, cozy connection. But then you start it and you ask for help and you say, why don't we get every Sunday on a little Zoom call together? And just to connect, having that little coffee chat. And I'm starting this group, I'm taking action. That is something that you can definitely do. It's a really good way to say, I started something, I was activating this. I took action, and you're not sitting there waiting on somebody to knock on your door. If it gets to the point, you do it. Right? I told myself always, if there is no leader, you are the leader. So take action if that is the point for you. Absolutely. Then we're at number six. Number six, embrace creative outlets. So maybe you want to start a new hobby. Maybe you want to start a new art. Maybe you want to start a new crafty project. Maybe you want to learn to cook or bake, or just take a new online course that you might get involved in, or listen to some webinars that you are interested in, right? You can find these things all online. You can find Facebook events virtually. So on social media, there is more. There is Eventbrite. Are a lot of social things online to do and that you can follow. So kind of find the outlets, find the platforms, find the apps, and then just enjoy maybe a new course or a webinar that you like to listen to and that you can do something with. Maybe there's a little challenge out there. In January, I always have a challenge on my Facebook groups, or in my Facebook groups, I should say, right? And these things are very important. So if you are just craving something to do and you feel there's a lot of emptiness in your day, then start creative, being creative, start your creative self, right? I always thought I can not paint and I'm not artistic like that, but have I really tried? Right? You want to try first. And we all have that little artist inside us. All of us. Maybe it's music. Maybe it's painting. Maybe it's craft work. There's so many things out there that you can do. And just try to find something to get through at least 2 months of 3 months of this really cold weather. Oh, yes. And then a deep breath for the last one. Building a self-care ritual. Just take time to take that warm bath. Take time to pamper yourself. Take an hour to look at your feet, look at your hands. Do they need some extra work? Right? And you do that pedicure, that manicure, or just go out to get it done, right? Just pamper yourself. Really important. Treat yourself to nice skincare in the winter when your skin gets dried out and really feels like rubber, right? With cold weather. So do some extra skincare there. Take some time to do so, or go out and have it done and get a facial. Just walk around the loungewear all day and do some foot massage for yourself and some nice creams and things like that. So we really want to take time to pamper ourselves. There are so many things that you can do there. And then sometimes we just need the digital detox, getting away from the television, and maybe even plan that. Maybe every night you're going to say to yourself, about an hour before bedtime, I'm just going to turn the TV off and put my cell phone away. And I'm just going to read a little bit, or maybe do at that time that journaling, that reflection of the day, reflection of the week, right? Things you want to write down. Maybe that's a good time to do so. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of what you can do for yourself. And around all this, you can build this and write this down and start building some of these habits, some of these new things, creating some. You can put all this in a theme. All these 7 points that I just gave you. You can put a theme around it and just say, this winter is my cozy renewal winter. Or This winter is my reconnection winter, if that is with yourself or with others, right? You can give it a little bit of a theme. Maybe it's the bright beginning of the day. So if you give it a theme, you can kind of like visualize how you can do a few things for yourself that are really amazing examples of everything that I just gave to you, right? I just handed to you. And I'm going to put a couple of those things on paper myself. I really want to just, again, start a new journal. I like to start every new year, the beginning of the year. And I'm going to just say, what are the three things that I'm grateful for? And I'm going to write that down. Or what made me grateful last season, right? Again, one of these thought process things to my mindset. What worked last year? What would I like to do more of? That is something that can be a thought. Or just things that are really fulfilling for you. You want to write that down. What is fulfilling to you? Doing a great job with your work, or being with the family, or spending time with your kids, or spending time in the kitchen, or volunteer work, right? And you can write about that. It makes you really fulfilled. And you can also set some goals and write down this week, this month, this season, I'm going to accomplish this and that. And then you can put that in a theme and you can really work around that. I hope all that made sense to you, right? Because there's some examples that we have there of things that we can do for us that if they're on paper, somehow I was going to say, here it comes. Apologies. I knew that sneeze was coming. Cold weather in my nose. So, where was I? If you write it down and you set some small steps and small goals for yourself and you write it down to what you want to do out of these 7 things, out of these 7 tips that I gave you, what do I want to do for myself this season that I can stick to? How can I get that accountability in my day, right? If I look at it, if I write it down, and if I look at it, go like, okay, this is what I want to do today, right? Monday morning, I want to do a light therapy, I want to do a light strength workout, and I want to batch some cooking for the week. I'm going to make that big soup. And then Tuesday, I'm going to journal and have a virtual coffee chat. And then Wednesday, I'm going to go outdoors, whatever it is, whatever temperatures, I'm going to bundle up and take that nice brisk walk and maybe do that afternoon a digital detox. So like I said, you don't have to do everything at the same time. But now I'm at Thursday already, right? I'm doing gratitude practice in the morning. And then I'm going to call somebody and check on them, do some volunteer work over the phone or in person. And maybe even share my gratitude with somebody else. And then maybe on Friday, right? I'm going to plan a movie night. Or maybe then bundle up on the couch with a blankie, PJ bottoms, and the whole bit hot chocolate Friday. Right, so that way you get a kind of an idea about what you can do. Saturday, maybe there's an outdoor activity. Sunday, there's maybe self-care rituals. Those things you can plan for yourself. And if you write it down, it's really easy to stick to. It always works. So start your journal with making a little outline with some of these tips. And if you have these tips in your outline, then you're very, very, very much likely to stick to it. So number 1, find the light. Number 2, move. Movement and exercise. Number 3, nourishment. Get those stews and those soups and that yummy food ready. Number 4, reflect. Reflect on self, what your year looked like, what you want to do next year. Journal things down, write things down that you can stick to. You have some little goals in there, some planning. It's really important to do that. And then really number 5 was connection, right? Connecting with others. If that's hard for you, start it yourself. If you're not in the place right now to have a lot of people around you, right? Take action and call and ask. And number 6, creativity. Be creative, start a new hobby, begin a few new books, study something. All that is really important to incorporate in the long winter months. And then the last one, self-care. Just take good care of your skin, your body. My friend always says, if you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live? And I keep saying that, I'm repeating that as well, because it's great. We got to take care of ourselves. Take your vitamins, take your supplements, all these things. So I hope this helped a little bit, get you through the winter months. I think it's a wonderful, cozy subject, right? And I'm glad to share it with you. I'm going to promise I'm going to stick to some of these things and make a journal and a list for myself and share that with you. And I hope you will reach out to me. www.elianhaan.net. On my website, you can find my coaching programs, my group coaching or my one-on-one programs. You can find webinars and courses that I do. You can find all my social media links on my website, and a free gift for anxiety right there on my website. So find https www.elianhaan.net. And so much thanks for watching Leon's Joy. I will see you next week. Bye-bye and make it a great day. Namaste.